Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is Girl RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today here at the cliff's edge as we continue looking for a runaway slave girl. I'm trying to help her actually, but we haven't talked to many people over here yet. So yeah, and we have all this place to explore still. Last episode we were at the Circus Minor, and we completed the quest there, the quest for the sculpture that I was trying to sculpt the victim of the sorrow. It was quite interesting, and then Eritis and Ali Gurn apparently started to talk to each other, and that was the end of the episode. So let's continue. Let's have a chat with this beggar. Maybe he knows something. I doubt it. And we have Aiden Citabo up there that I don't think I talked to. So where? Oh yeah, did I come from Caravanserai over here? No, I came from over here. And there's the surgical parlor where I believe I might be able to upgrade me a little bit, maybe? Who knows? Let's have a chat with this guy. He seems to be pretty keen on martial arts, I would think. Oh boy! Oh, he's a fast one. He's a fast one. The large-muscled man is practicing some form of martial art as you look on. He is wearing an old white rough-woven coat with the sleeves torn off, and a red bandana is wrapped tightly around his head. He seems to be moving much faster than his size suggests it's possible. He glides between stances as swiftly as water. His fists are blurring hammers, striking at invisible enemies. His bare, calloused feet snap and slash at the air like knives. Well, this is the runaway slave girl that we're looking for. Where did you learn to fight like that? By challenging the deadliest creatures and studying their killing blows, he says. I lack claws or teeth, but I do the best I can. You're very fast. You seem to do the best you can. Yes, Aiden says. The Dabril's gift. His hand slips around an invisible assailant's arm. He snaps it with a stab of his elbow, then crushes his enemy's throat and flips him over his shoulder to the ground. Jasanthan array! He shouts, spitting over the invisible adversary's corpse to deliver a triangle of jabs to the chest of his next attacker. The entire set of moves took no longer than 4 seconds. He catches you staring and smiles. You must be wondering why I'm shouting. You are yeah, that's... Not at all, I'm gonna say, but yeah, it's always something that kind of... I mean, if it is Japanese media, that's fine. It's just the thing that they do. Sir, okay, not a problem. Ryuken! Whatever, it's fine, it's all good. Kamehameha! Ha? You need a ha at the end, I think. That's fine. But on Western media, this is actually, I think the thing as you shout whatever you're doing, I think that might be really just a Japanese thing or an Oriental thing anyway. But if he's got that background, I mean, he kind of looks the part. Let's see, not at all. Ah, you've seen stranger things than a lunatic punching the air and shouting then, he says, before spearing his opponent's jugular with 3 stiffened fingers. Can't thrust! Well, so have I. Oh, years ago, I was a starving beggar. I managed to steal a wedge of pie crust and was terrified that someone else would take it from me. So I hid inside that metal structure over there to enjoy my feast. Bite of the hidden queb, he says, clawing his enemy's eyes. The stale crust, he continues, the stale crust crumbled into pieces between my eager fingers, and something strange happened. They drifted towards the ground like the softest of snowflakes. I was able to pluck each of them from the air before they fell. At first I was delighted, then I wept. How far had I fallen that clean food was a miracle? He sighs, then delivers 4 more blows to the air's belly. But the miracle never ended. The longer I lived in that shelter, the more I could slow the world by concentrating. I swore to never waste this gift. I would honor it by becoming stronger, faster. I would challenge the predators of the world and take their killing blows from them. I would never be prey again. Grush stomp! And he does another thing. I'm not faster than him. No, don't bet that. So where did you... No, okay, it's just against. Let's try that. I'm gonna save. Because if he kills me, I might not want to do that. I might just... I will do this. I will do this. But, yeah. If I don't want to die right now, because I want to complete the other ones. But let's see. Apparently he's not gonna kill me outright. You're not the first to think so, he says. He says casually, actually, snapping at an assailant's neck. I should warn you that all the others are dead. That's not a threat. I only fight to the death. He flings the invisible corpse aside. Before I accept your challenge, I'll need to see if you're good enough to face me. His fist lashes towards you. Jurulesques! A slow punch first, he thinks. Some challengers are braggarts, but they don't deserve death. Okay, so the fact that he's going... I can't really I can't really do anything. Let's just block the punch and strike back. Got a 50% chance to hit right there, which means that I'm probably I'm gonna go with the 70. Yes, I succeeded. Good. Critical success, very nice. Stat pools spent on effort are restored. You bat his fist aside and aim yours at his nose. He lowers his head, dashing your knuckles off his forehead. I underestimated you, he says, an odd light in his eyes. That won't happen again. Tell me when you're ready for the next round. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm ready for the next part of your test. So am I, he says, nodding gravely. But prepare yourself, I will not hold back this time. Dabiri's assault! He launches a two-handed blow at your face. Faster now, but not deadly, he says. Okay, I can take that. That's for something else. Okay, we have initiative and quick fingers. Parry and counterattack. He won't see it coming, apparently. Okay, that's 40% right there. Let's go with 80. I succeed. Okay, it's probably just 3 tests. You lunge into the attack, driving your arms up between his fists and pushing them apart. One hand whips around the back of his neck and pulls him into range of your forehead. Crack! He stumbles back, blinking, smiling. You're ready. Am I? Have I passed all of your tests? You have, he says, but I will remind you one more time. This will be a fight to the death. He draws one foot back, settling his weight on it. His hands come up and draw apart, tightening into fists. Are you certain you want to do this? A short fight, one kick at full speed is deadly enough. Yeah, maybe later. Because I want to ask you something before I kill you, or before I die. Okay, if I die, that's good, that's good. Have you seen a 10-year-old girl with dark curly hair? I ask. Oh, actually, he said something when I said maybe later. Think it over, he says. I would have you commit to the fight with your whole heart. Okay. Yes, he says, bowing his head. I've seen her, crawling out of a fissure in one of the collapsed houses in this district. She is likely hiding, but I did not pry into her affairs. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so we're on the right track. Not that we didn't know this. We can apparently interact with this thing. Let me press tab. Yeah, you can. We can. So let's go in here and see what happens. Let's talk about that duel again. Let's. As I said, this will be a fight to the death. And I'm probably gonna die. Very well. The challenge has begun. He regards you with the serene eyes of a predator, chest rising and falling. A warm wind tumbles across the stones between you. He flows with it, spinning away from the ground. His foot slices towards your head in a blur. Time slows, as if the universe is holding its breath. Okay, so I can go with initiative smashing, which might be a little bit better for me. He says, Kokitan kick. And I'm not gonna shout it, but that's what he's doing. Let's go with this one. Oh, it's this one as well. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Let's go. 75. I did it. I did it this time. Am I gonna need another one? I'm probably gonna need another one. Before his foot can connect, you drive your fist upwards, smashing him beneath the chin. He tumbles gracelessly to the ground, choking. Time resumes, flowing through you, and you feel some of Aiden's inhuman speed melding into your own reflexes. Oh, this is great. Oh, you have won, he says, when he has regained some of his breath. Finish it. No, actually... And rob this world of your talent? Never. I see, he says, lowering his head, troubled. Perhaps I should have shown my other opponents the same mercy. Instead, their talent is lost forever. He staggers back up to his feet and resumes training. I don't usually go in for mercy, says Aligern, but he does seem like the type who only tries to kill you once. Oh, are you going to be challenging everyone we meet to daring duels? Never mind. Don't tell me. I want to be surprised, says Eratis. Well, I do thank you for not robbing the world of his talent, says Tibir. This square is a better place for the sight of him, jumping about and flexing. Yeah, he does seem very charming, doesn't he? Also probably very muscular and appealing to the eye. Okay, so let's have a chat with this thing. It's not really have a chat, but let's mess around with this thing. I have no idea what it might be. Holograms, maybe? I think but they kind of look like reflective surfaces. They probably are, actually. I wonder what the skybox is in this game. Because I think it has a skybox, or something to that extent. This is a 3D engine, after all, even though it has 2D stuff on it. It's kind of a miracle the way they work this out, actually, because it's really tricky to make the levels and all that, because it's just so much technology in here. So let's see what this is. These 3 triangles float serenely above a scuffed stone basin. You can't help noticing that the citizens of Sagas are giving this monument a wide berth. The largest triangle shines brightly, radiating a soothing warmth. The middle, darker one, hovers above it, turned slightly away from the first with what strikes you as disdain. Does it really? It doesn't strike me at all. The third is small, dryly amused, and so deeply indigo as to be nearly black. I suppose. I mean, it's kind of tricky to see that with the wall reflectiveness, but yeah, sure. It's removed from the first two triangles. You hesitate. You were sensing emotion from these objects. Intent. Something is strange here. Yeah, why was I sensing that? Let's examine. Let's try to study the medium. Oh, wait, actually, which one do I like? Disdain. And I got, what's the other one? Indigo is nearly, small, dryly amused. I like that. That's more for my character. Let's go with that one. The tiny object spins slightly faster than the others. The more you stare at it, the more you sense a growing presence in the air, the icy regard of distant eyes. You blink, swaying. In the half second before you open your eyes, do you take half a second to blink? Man. You hear the thunderous crack of wood and on wood, and the rumble of distant voices. You snatch your hand from the triangle. So I can touch the large triangle, but not the other ones. Let's crouch to look at the basin, at the stone basin over here. It looks like some sort of water feature or something. The stone is cracked in places, but far newer than the ancient shapes that float above. You suspect that the citizens of Sagas added the basin to make the triangles look less out of place. Oh, so they are probably gonna kill me. So wood on wood, the sound of wood on wood. I wonder if it's just wooden swords or something like that. Or, you know, staves or something. But also, thunderous and the rumble of distant voices. I wonder what that is. Let's study the medium-sized triangle then. Staring at this triangle is disorienting. The longer you stare at it, the more you feel a tight, coiling sensation in your own head. Standing on your toes and stretching, you manage to brush the triangle's icy face with your fingers. The air thickens like a weight over you, and you struggle to keep your eyes open. Between the thumping of your heartbeat, and you hear thousands of purposeful, rhythmic footsteps treading endless stairs towards the peak of a vast, echoing room. What about the, So I can touch the largest one. Okay, let's touch the largest one. I can't really do anything else. You reach out, and time slows. Your hand drifts past individual motes of light, dappled dust, moving into the warm glow of the large triangle. Calm warmth bleeds up your arm when you grasp the edge of the triangle. It's somehow rigid and flexible at the same time. You blink, and a strip of light unwinds ahead of you like a path through infinite murmuring dark. Behind you is an ever-shifting zoetrope of linked, motionless hues. It is your past, you realize, every second of it, every choice pouring out of you and trailing away into the black. You open your eyes, you're back at the stone ring, still touching the triangle. All three of them are watching you. You blink again. You strip the strip of light, the surrounding darkness, and in the valley between the slow pulsing of your heart, you hear the murmurs of countless witnesses, the raised voices of your past and future companions, the heated condemnations of enemies you haven't met yet, and above it all, a trio of voices, one warm, one cold, and one dryly practical. They are speaking of a verdict, but you can't hear them over the din. Let's see. Shut out the visions and leave in play. No, let's, I need really shout for silence so you can hear the judges. Yeah, let's go with that. You bellow into the dark, clenching your fists, and the crowd instantly falls silent. So do the judges. In the echoing silence that follows you, you realize that you are alone. You always were. You stride on. The path unravels before your every step. Your path unspools behind you. Okay, let's stay on the path to see where it leads. You follow the road. Casually, you look to the right, and the path at your feet flickers, as if anticipating your new direction. Clearly, your choices define this road's course, and not the other way around. You open your eyes, the three triangles hang in the air exactly as they did before, unmoving and silent. The vision is gone, and yet you can still feel the choices you've made, curving away behind you like a string of jewels. You straighten, moving into the future breath by breath. You suddenly notice a message carved into the stone ring beneath the triangles. Judge yourself, it reads. As you watch, it slowly fades again. Okay, let's step away from the monument. Judge myself, huh? I don't think not self-consciousness, what's the word? Oh, I didn't want to touch that again, sorry. Awareness is a thing that my character really excels at. I don't want him to, basically. Let's see what we have here. Finzin, hey, he's saying. Oh, that looked like Morte. It's not. Everything about this slender young man says thug, from his scar-slashed eyebrows to the calloused hand hovering over his lip, where a dagger would hang. But he doesn't have one. Instead, flour cakes his hands, and a single apron string hangs from his pocket. He is apparently a baker. Stand still, you shine. What? Stand still, you shine, he says, and peers over your shoulder. You follow his gaze to an armored soldier who is loitering in the public square. That Levee's been following me for days. Can't even stop for a piss without checking side to side. You sure he's following you? Huh, put it like this, he says, licking his lips. I know when I'm being followed. I've seen him on my track from dawn to dark for 3 days. I ain't done anything wrong. And it's worse than that, he says, wringing his hands. That's my Levee. Is it? So you guys, if you don't remember, a Levee, basically it's a thing. They give up, I think it's years of their life or something like that, or a day of their life or something like that, and they basically get levies, which are these constructs that walk around, and there are basically representations of them, or use their life force or something to exist. That's something like that. Why is it worse that your Levee is following you? Well, having a Levee on your track is bad enough, right? But if he was made from a year of your life, he knows where you bed down. Maybe. What you're thinking. He groans, rubbing his eyes. That's worse. That's much worse. Look, he won't leave me alone, right? I gave a year of my life to make him. That's what I was saying. And I thought that was that. Now, I catch him standing in the street outside the bakery, whispering to himself, playing with that carving of his. His teeth graze his lips as he leans closer. He even tried to talk to me. Levees ain't supposed to know who they came from, right? They ain't supposed to know who you are. He wavers, gathering his courage. Could you talk to him? Find out what he wants? Can't you talk to him yourself? He swallows hard. Well, I've heard stories. Levees go wrong sometimes. Get obsessed with a person who gave them life. If the two ever meet, the Levee goes mad, tears them apart. That ain't going to happen to me. No, not after all I've been through. All right, I'll talk to your Levee. He nods again towards the armored man who's standing in the distance away in the public square. This is the only Levee in this district, so you can't miss him. Plus, he ain't smiling like all the others, and he's holding some charred wooden thing in his hands.
Making a note.
You need anything else? No, so what is normal behavior for a Levee anyway? They work for the people who make the laws, right? And if someone breaks those laws, they track them down. Always smiling, mind you. Figures that my Levee would be the unhappy kind. Really? Why does it figure? How did they create your Levee? I look like a scholar to you. All I know is where they told me to stand. His eyes roll past your face and snap back. Look, people want to be, you know, respectable in this town. They become citizens. The way they do that is you step into this glass chamber. Takes a year out of your life, they say. I figure it squeezes that year into human shape. Don't know how. Wouldn't pay 2 shins to know. Really? You wouldn't? I mean, the knowledge would probably screw you up or something. I have no idea. I'm not sure they even know that. I mean, if they have a machine, then it might just operate itself. I don't understand why you think your Levee wants to murder you. Look, he begins, obviously struggling to frame his explanation. Look. You don't track a man for days and days unless you want something, yeah? Well, maybe you like his shoes, or you're curious about how many shins he's got. Now, I don't have any shins, and my shoes are older than me. Only thing I got that's worth anything is my life. Anyway, I told you about the stories I've heard. How sometimes Levees go wrong. You take a look at that Levee. Everything about him is wrong. Okay, well, I'll take care of him. And he says he'll be there. Okay. So that's the tormented Levee over there. Oh boy, that's why do you tell me this game? Why do you tell me that? Alright, we have a little bit of money over there, and that's good. Let's do something that I really should have done before, which is to get healing items going. So I'm gonna give these one to you. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice that he does that. 1 extra speed for you. Right there. And 1 extra speed for you. Right there. And over here we have intellect, and that's going to be for me only. And we have might, that's going to be for you. 2 of them should be good. And this long sword, this great sword, everything is good. What do we have here? A cloak, an artifact. Is it a... Oh, yeah, it's an equipable item. It can only be used by me, though. Yeah. Okay, so let's go with that. Over here we have an oddity, a father teller, which is a fantastic thing of fantasy, basically, in Marvel. So, we have something over here. I can't really see what it is, but... Oh, this is for the runaway girl. I want to mess with the Levee first, though. I want to see what it's all about. Because I'm really interested in this whole affair. This Levee is not like the others you've seen. The white smile is absent, and his oddly shaped eyes are red, wet, and haunted. He stares past you, whispering to himself and turning a small, charred object over and over in his hands. He appears to be looking for someone, and having spoken to Finzen, you can imagine who. The aura of shame around him is so powerful that you can practically taste it. So... What are you holding there? Let's go with that first. He says, then grimaces as though his words hurt him. I'm holding my shame. His hands unfold, one bloody soot-covered finger at a time. A crudely made wooden bird lies there, painted in pinks and pale blues, and charred around the edges. That bird represents your shame? Represents? No, this is my shame, and I'm holding it. He swallows. I can't put it down. So, what is... That's a shame. That's your shame. Well, Finzen sent me to find out why you're following him. Yes, he says, the despair melting away. In that moment, he looks like a child, with a child's desperate hope. He knows too, doesn't he? He sees what he did, what we did. Tears leak from his eyes, trailing down into his mouth as he continues. When the machine ripped the ear from him to make me, I felt the choices unraveling before me. He hugs himself. I see them coming. None of it can be changed.
I'll remember that.
Tell him this. For me, the Gillam Manor job did happen. A servant caught him, called the Levees. They chased him, and set a fire. His eyes squeezed shut. The fire spread through the neighborhood. People were trapped. People screamed. His hand clenches over the charred toy bird in his palm with a soft crunch. Please tell him I'm with him in the dark, hiding from the mobs, sobbing. Tell him to give me a different year, a better one. Oh. Oh, that's quite interesting. What kind of year do you want from Finzen? A year without a blackened door, he says earnestly, without the hand tangled in the grate, the weeping in the dark places. Silent tears stream down his face. He doesn't seem to be aware of them. Wails rising with the glowing ashes, my arms bound with ragged rope. Every time I'm there, in those last minutes, I try to apologize, but my mouth... His fingertips brush at his lips. My mouth is full of dirt and blood. Okay, I'll speak with Finzen. And he's groaning. Okay. So, Finzen, apparently you did a good thing, but that guy did a bad thing. I don't really know how to explain that. I think he's gonna need to die or something. He's not gonna kill you, though. That's the good news. Did you find out anything? He asks, eyes darting around you to check on the distant Levee. Yeah, I've spoken to the Levee. He mentioned something about a Gillam Manor job or something. He what? Finzen says, going pale. Keep your voice down. You tell anyone about this? No? Good. I have to be unspecific about this, understand? Before I became a citizen, I wasn't a nice person. I took things for money, and just a few weeks ago, certain people told me they wanted me to rob Gillam Manor. I was going to do it, but then I became a citizen. Gave up a year of my life to create the Levee. That Levee. Something changed, he says, frowning. All of a sudden, I couldn't get the dangers out of my head. How thick the Levee patrols were, or how the captain herself was looking into one of my older adventures. He plays with the apron strings hanging from his pocket. So I cancelled the job and started working at my aunt's bakery. Never did the Gillam job, and that's the truth. Yeah, but the Levee is seeing what would have happened if you did the job. He wants another year from you.
Making a note.
Oh, I get it, he says, rolling his eyes. It's a shakedown. Give me... No, I don't... I think he wants a different year, not an extra year. But anyway, let's see what he says. It's a shakedown. Give me a year or I'll tell them what you did. Well, I ain't done anything. I never killed anyone and I don't owe him nothing. I can't keep handing out years like they're free. Well, but it's... Oh, you make a valid point. Yeah, he says, nodding at you. Maybe it ain't fair, but I ain't wrong either.
Making a note.
I'd go up to Government Square and tell the captain of levies what he's up to if I had any way of explaining it. Hey, your levy's following me around. I think it's because he's haunted by my past, criminal past, or whatever. Yeah. That's true. Let's see. Give the levy another year of your life. What good would telling the captain of levies do? Levees ain't supposed to follow their citizens around. They ain't supposed to get all weepy either. Telling the captain would take care of the problem for sure, but I ain't about to try it myself. You want to try talking to her? She's in Government Square. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and persuade her, not you. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Wait here. Ah, good luck. Just don't, you know, tell her too much. Yeah, I'll try to be careful about that. It seems to be a little bit of a prickly situation, but that's okay. That's all good. That's fine. So, Government Square it is. Loss of Self is the name of this guy. I can't really see his description though. This dilapidated structure has been converted into a cheap boarding house. Inside, people sprawl on filthy mattresses in a dimly lit room. Okay. I've got hiccups. Terrible hiccups right now. I apologize. But, ooh, is that a passage? No. But what we are going to do is get the girl from over here. But that's going to be on the next episode because for right now, we are out of time. So, that's going to be it. I am Colonel RPG, and I think the girl is over there. I am Colonel RPG, and this has been Torment, Tides of Numenera. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, as always, leave a comment down below. As you always do. I thank you very much for all the comments. I read all of the comments and I reply to most of them, or a lot of them anyway. All that I feel, well, that you guys ask me questions and I reply. If not, I just thank you for all the support. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for staying with me through the series, and I hope I will see you next episode. Bye-bye.